and went really, really fast.
Craig was saying.
Oh yeah, I got it fixed. Sorry about that.
But he,
What a
User
noob.
was moved to your channel.
So, Proj, are you guys picking up Mabel? He's been playing the last, like, what, 3 games with him?
No. Mabel is he plays very similarly to Mayog. They both have similar styles, and Mayog was out of town. Otherwise, we would have played Mayog.
You need your crack assault rifle.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they have a little bit different strengths, but I mean, and we had Mabel this time play offense, scrambler, whiteout clear and stuff. So he was in a brand new. I mean, that's kind of, we like to work with guys that have good communication, work well with the team, and Mabel does that, Mayog does that. So
hold on, Rickle, let me stop you guys. We did just kind of come back on, and we are interviewing right now Projectile, who is the de facto captain for Stack and Hack, who we just saw win in that best of 3. We're talking about right now, one of the players, Mabel, who is a sub for them. Yeah, because normally we see him in that defensive role, playing Ranger on stand. Why did you guys rotate him over to Scrambler? Were you confident in Vers, Hoff?
Well, we just don't. We have a bunch of guys that are just good at FPS games in general, and they have good tracking and stuff. So we just stick them. A lot of times we can just stick them wherever, and they usually coordinate really well. Like ZP's almost always our sniper, but we were running a 3D strat, and we wanted more bodies on the stand that could escort. If you didn't notice, most of our plan was just getting standoffs over and over again, and really crush the standoffs, which I think we did really well.
Yeah, I was actually going to mention, you started each map with every single map started with a Dow cap. And then obviously you guys turn around on most maps and just,
Well, yeah, a lot of that is them getting used to things. Also, shit happens sometimes.
Absolutely.
Oh.
I mean, is there an element of that? Was that just them coming out quickly out of the gate while you guys were setting up, or was that?
Probably a little bit. Well, we grabbed. I think on the first one on like Arcs or Crossfire, they just got a quick return in the standoff that we weren't ready for, and that shit. It just happens sometimes.
Sure.
But yeah, we were basing our whole play on. I mean, that's what we didn't do a lot in Tribes too. We have a lot of guys that are really, really good duelers, and I mean, I would put some of our guys tracking up there with Quake Bros. To be honest with you, the insanely accurate trackers and duelers, and we just some of those standoffs we just go in and we'd have 3 or 4 of us, and the guys, they would just mow down every single one of their carriers, one right after the other, and there's not a whole lot they could do about it. And then I think we really start steamrolling later on when we get the vehicles out. Obviously, that's when it gives us a lot more breathing room. And basically, as soon as they grab the flag off the stand, we have both our defenders come out to escort the capper. They don't even bother chasing. We have Veer help try to chase down the capper, and then we switch our players around. We had Mabel come back on D for the standoff, and then we had Veer and me, Tarzal, and who was it? Well, whatever. Go out, and it was me, Tarzal, DS, and Veer go out for the return, and that worked out really well. The strike's really hard to deal with in standoffs.
Absolutely, yeah. We saw Veer going to work. He was absolutely doing work today.
Yeah, well, we really need him to do, his thing. He doesn't even have to do it perfectly, but it prevents llama grab. We don't even worry about llama grab. We'll let him grab. We'll slowly cap it. If it takes us 2 minutes, that's fine. We'll just have Veer constantly kill the guys grabbing at 50 kph, trying to stop us from capping. We're patient about it.
So I talk real quick, Proj, you can, about kind of why you think it was so easy for you to get the flag off the stand in this match. I mean, we saw very little of you being stopped.
All credit to the clears. Well, a little credit to me, but I run like cross on arcs. Actually, what would happen is I would come in the front almost every time, just because it's not a great route, but it's so fast to set up. I can get over there in like 15 seconds every time. And it's hard to chase with the whiteouts. I can switch directions and juke chasers. I'm really good at rabbit, which is pretty much what that comes down to. And then, but what would happen, I would go in the front, and if it wasn't cleared, I would just sort of fly over all the defenders and then set up for a back row really quick, and just, you know, but Darkstrand, Tarzal, and we had Mabel just spamming wideouts at them, just completely clean the clock on them. I don't even know if they're running 3 or 4D. If they're running 3D, they really had no chance. Even 4D is really tough to stop a coordinated offense like that, and I kind of had an easy job, actually. So I can't take much credit.
I have some questions about just some bigger scale stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, this game is still in closed beta, but it seems like people are really enjoying it and playing the hell out of it. Since you guys are potentially the best team in North America, perhaps the world.
I wouldn't go. That seems kind of silly to speculate about right
Well,
now.
regardless, you guys are doing pretty well in the early stages of this game as a competitive title.
Yeah.
Are you practicing simply because you love the game, or are you actively looking towards NASL Season 1 and the tournaments that pop up?
I played Tribes 2 as a hobby, a little too much probably in high school, so I kind of just got good at Tribes in general. I mean, I actually briefly played competitive TF2 after just a few months, and I was trying to just... I do it as a hobby, amongst other things. I'm a musician too. I do a couple other things. So, I mean, I consider it a hobby, and I enjoy playing. The nice thing about Tribes is that I don't have to put in a lot of effort at this point, because I was like a top player for years in Tribes 2. So there is that. I don't want to play Quake Live now, because I've never really played it before, and I'm not wasting my time. You know, I'm in grad school too. I don't have, 8 hours a day to sit down and play SE2 or something. So it lets me compete at a game. TF2 is another one. I purposely tried to get into that because I know the entry level there is lower. But I'm enjoying it. It's alright. The main thing I enjoy about the games is sort of like picking them apart intellectually. I like the strategic part about it and testing out new strategies more than I think actually the gameplay itself, which is why I like shoutcasting. So I mean, I'm sure the gameplay will improve. I still have some sticking points, like disc jumps are still pathetic, and I bring them up constantly. But it's so far it's playing all right, and I look forward to seeing at least hopefully a little Tribes revival as far as the number of teams playing, because I love Tribes too, but there just simply isn't competition for me to enjoy it anymore.
Man, I can still remember looking at the OGL ladders and seeing in Tribes 1 and seeing like over 100 10v10 teams. I would just like that type of stuff doesn't even happen in gigantic esports titles anymore.
Tribes 2, when it was over 100 like 16v16 teams, that's bigger than TF2 is now. It's a shame that base was so shoddy out of the gate, and they had to fix it, and it took them a while. It's one of the great tragedies in online FPS gaming, I guess.
And then Tribes Vengeance, and then Legions, and Instant Action dying. It's been hard being a Tribes fan for the last, 12, 10.
Yeah.
Well, it's been hard being a Tribes fan since day one. But I'm really excited for Tribes Ascend. I think the game's coming along nicely, and I'm going to be here. I work for Twitch TV, so I'm going to be here supporting the game from an esports angle.
And dying to me in pubs.
Yeah, and dying to you in pubs. My other question, so we were talking a bit about the histories of the teams, and I know over in the European scene you've got teams like IDK and Hindsight who've been around for a really long time. Is your team a team that played together in Tribes 2 a lot?
Oh yeah. Some of us are older. Like ZP played early on. ZP was on Kaizen, which was like top 4. I think they reached number 4, I think, on the ladder. They beat Area 51 and were just behind Vanguard and SES. I played for Core early on, and then I joined 311 when they were number 2. Icon was number 1. I was on Delirium Tremens, which is number 1. I was on Infidelic, which was number 1 7-man team. I was on Exiled Arena, which was number 1 arena. So I've been around the block since 2001. Darkstrand was on Rapture. Some of the other guys, like Hybrid and Tarzal, came by later, but honestly, like Tarzal's probably the number 2 dueler in Tribes of all time. They're very talented players. Hybrid's probably around number 4 in terms of dueling. They just have really good like mechanical skills, and they've managed to get their comm skills up where they can work as a team and just kill everything.
So if I can stop you guys real quick, we do have Nana in from
Yeah,
Tau. So let's
we might also want to introduce the game again for the
And
new
yeah,
viewers.
if you are just joining us, we're playing Tribes Ascend right here. We're watching Craig do a little pubbing, and we're talking to the captains of the matches that we just had, which was old Stack and Hack versus the Tao of Tribes. Stack and Hack took it in 3 games, 3 out of 3 games they took. And right now we have Nanner, who is Capper from Team Is Tao, and we're going to get to his interview real quick. Let me do a quick plug for if you guys want to play the game. You can just like us on Facebook and get yourself a free beta key. We are currently in closed beta. We'll be moving rapidly into open beta here pretty soon. So go ahead and get a leg up on the competition, and we look forward to seeing you in game. And so moving along here to the Capper for Tao in Nanner. Nanner, how you doing?
I'm good. I would first like to add one thing. However little projectile tries, I try 10 times less, and I'm a better musician, and girls like me more.
All right. Well, now that
Some
we've got that out
astute
of the
Tribes
way,
observations.
very important game stuff there. But I actually want to pose the same question to you, Nader, since I'm not too familiar with all the players and all the teams. Tao of Tribes, I recognize some of the names, but did you guys play together in any cohesive form in any previous Tribes incarnation? And I
no,
guess if
honestly,
you could give a little history on just who you guys are.
Okay. Well, Refried comes from Tsunami, which was a big T1 clan. Dynamite Stick is obviously, for those of you who don't know, he played with the Sticks in Tribes 1, who is probably a top 5 Tribes 1 team of all time. The other guys were Tribes LT players after the T1 heyday was kind of gone. And then I played T1 a little bit, but I was real young. And then I played Tribes 2 for Rapture right when they first started up and became less active towards the end of it. But really, we just kind of all were playing together. We were all in the same vent, and the high-res esports forum popped up, and Refry just kind of asked, should we get a team together? And we all just were kind of with it, so we just ran with it.
Cool. So there's a couple teams in North America that have been scrimming pretty consistently. How do you guys work on team chemistry and practice? Are you coming up with specific set strategies? Are you finding neat things on the maps, or are you kind of just going with it?
It's all just, after the scrim, whatever we do wrong, we'll try and, everyone will get a chance to talk. We'll just talk through strats, trying to figure out, what's the best class loadouts, what's the best offense, defense stack, and whatnot. It's still, for us, because we haven't been playing for a long time together, probably, 2 months now. So, communication's still an issue. Everyone being on the same page and stuff like that has really, honestly, probably been our biggest issue, getting timings down and everything like that. So we're trying to work on our comm, we're trying to work on our strats, getting like I said, the right class loadouts and everything, and putting everyone in the position where they're going to help the team the most.
So, I mean, feel free to say no if you don't want to answer with the enemy in the room, but what happened tonight then?
Honestly, I mean, Projectile said it himself. Stack and Hack, they've played together for 5 years now. Our defense was complaining the most about the timing. Their timing was nearly seconds perfect, with wideouts coming in and then Projectile coming in right after that. And, obviously Proj runs good routes. Fast routes are hard to chase, especially when you're in a scrambler. So I think once we got on dry dock, we started off a little bit better. We switched to 3-0-1 capper, and we got some quick caps up, and then I happened to lag out or whatever, but still finished the way it did. But yeah, I think their timing was probably the thing that threw us off the most. Veer in a Shrike obviously hurts. I mean, it's easy to outrun a Shrike, but when the Shrike is killing your LO as they come in, it's hard to get a clean grab off the stand. So just a mix of all those factors, and it's hard to beat a team like that.
Awesome.
That's what we see a lot. Actually, it's interesting you say that. The role is a little bit different. I think we see in the European side, but they run a little bit more sniper, I think, primarily. And just hearing them talk about kind of the top teams over there is like, okay, well they're going to push 4. And we'll just run 2 snipers immediately, pick off 1 guy, suicide 1, and get him on the stand, stuff like that. So I think that's going to be pretty interesting in this game as we see it get more complex with the idea of, picking off someone of that first wave to get that initial advantage. That very kind of like tactical chess style where it's, you're really doing that micromanagement of personnel.
Are they usually running 7s or 8s? Because our decision not to run sniper mostly resulted in us playing. We were 3D and we really wanted the bodies for escorting
Yeah, it's the same.
Snipers suck at escorting, so that was our main decision not to run them. ZP was saying we should let him snipe on dry dock after they capped a couple times, but I don't think we really. I think he did at the end, but I'm not sure really how effective it was.
Yeah, they are playing 8s. That's a good point. But they do run 2 snipers in 8s, which would be pretty akin to running 1, I would say, in 7s at least. Even we don't even necessarily see that in 7s, so in America.
So honestly, everything that's been said in this post-game interview has made me pretty happy. I'm really glad to hear that pretty much everyone on these top teams is someone who's had an experience in competitive tribes. It's not just anyone can come in and play. Once there's actual money behind this game and NASL announces their season, I'll be really interested to see what the top tier FPS teams out there are going to do. Are they going to go with their usual players that just hop from game to game? Are we going to see legendary esports teams like the Doctors, who are also played tribes, come and play this game? It's cool to see that both of these teams have a lot of experience in tribes, especially competitive tribes. So yeah, I don't really have any more questions. You guys want to bring anything else up?
I just quickly. I mean, I would say, Nanner, why was it hard for you to get the flag off the stand? I mean, what was it that was about their defense? Was it primarily the striking that was chasing you down or interrupting, or was it something they were doing on the stand?
It honestly, Veer's great in a strike, but like I said, if I get a clean grab on a good route, it's not hard to outrun him, especially with the whiteout jumps. What really throws our offense off is when they'll get clean grabs like that, like Projectile will get a clean grab and we'll have to go and E-grab, or it'll get us out of sync. So I think in this game, really, a great offense is a good defense as well, because it constantly keeps their offense trying to react to the flag getting taken from the base and having to just go straight to the enemy base and try and get an E-grab off without having time to really set up and get their timing down and stuff like that. So like on dry dock, we started off, our timing was good. We were all on the same page and we got 2 quick caps right off the bat, and then some things happened and we kind of got off the right page and they got some chain caps on us. So
yeah,
it's
you guys
all
look
about
real strong coming out on that first a little bit there in dry dock, definitely.
Yeah, when your offense makes the opposite offense react to you as far as having to make an E-grab, it really puts you at a leg up, because then, like I said, they're always going to be out of position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is interesting. Interesting stuff there, Nanner. So I guess I was pretty happy to see you guys play tonight. I would love to see. I know the European guys have been itching to get some cross the pond stuff going, so we should definitely do a best in the world tournament.
Exciting, for sure.
Maybe cool
even
to see.
Twitch TV will throw some cash behind it. Who knows?
Ooh.
Yeah, it would be a lot of fun. And kind of guys, just as a heads up, if you are just joining us again, we are talking about Tribes Ascend. We just finished the match here. We had a really good time, and we were just doing a post-game interview with a couple of the captains, the captain and the capper from the 2 respective teams, Stack and Hack and Tau Tribes. I, of course, am Hi-Res Bart. I work at Hi-Res, and we make Tribes Ascend, and very happy to be able to bring it to you today. And I think maybe I'll do a little Q&A, play a game, do some Q&A, and then we'll call it a night. Does that sound good to you guys?
Yeah, sure.
And of course, let's remind everyone as well that if you've not seen this game before or played it before, more importantly, Tribes Ascend on Facebook, facebook.com/tribesascend. Get a beta key. Come play. We were just talking about the fact that it's nice that we have these veteran teams, but at the same time, you can play too. They formed by being in a chat room on Ventrilo and got together and played. You can be one of them. You can do it. Come on, it's that easy.
Yeah,
seriously, we want more people, and we want everybody to come play.
And
free beta keys for everybody.
Well, while we're giving plugs, I just want to reiterate. I can't say it enough. I do still visit Tribal War on a daily basis. However, that is not the place to go for the Tribes community anymore. It is too trolly, too many douchebags, too many bitter old veterans who are just going to hate any Tribes iteration that ever comes out. So definitely, if you're brave enough, go to tribalwar.com. But if you want a more civil community that is actually going to give you useful stuff about the game and facilitate nice discussions, I highly recommend going to reddit.com/r/tribes. It's growing really quickly. There's a lot of discussion. People are posting frag videos. People are talking about balance and gameplay. So go front page R Tribe on Reddit. You won't regret it.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good tip. But before I go, I just want to give a shout out to Tribal War, give a shout out to Rinzen, and Free Tibet. Holla.
User disconnected from your channel.
I don't have any political shout-outs.
That's how you give a shout out. I like that.
I don't do politics.
Oh, politics. It exists everywhere. Yeah.
I try to
You
stay
actually
out of
go
that.
ahead and I think. Should I do it? Craig, should I have them add you on Tribes and come play with us if they can?
Of course.
User
Add
Yeah, or you
Craig.
can add me. I'm playing on High Res Bart, so come
Yep.
find me. Well, that actually is my only account. I am proud to say that I don't actually have a Smurf account. I only play on my official account. So.
That's brave. That's
And
brave,
he's
man.
still only level 17.
Yeah. Well, I
Love you,
know
Bart.
what, it's funny because I got to like 15 like right away, and then it was like, oh yeah, you also have a job, and then it was very slow leveling from there on out.
Dude, I don't think I ever added you, High Res Bart.
Well, that's a shame.
I would take that as an insult if I were you. I'd be hurt.
It's a shame.
I am joining off you, though.
And yeah, the most important part is you're on United States East.
I am
you
US East, High
probably-
Res Bart. I'm in a game that's relatively full.
And I'm actually in game with you.
I am actually
Yeah, so am
I.
jumper capping.
So
You're on my team.
I am dicking around on the scrambler.
We do have spots open, so come quick if you can.
So yeah, I don't know who's gonna do the questioning, but I am.
I can
well,
I can
we would-
watch the
normally we
chat
take them from the chat. Yeah.
and try to play at the same time because I'm a master like that.
So yeah, let's get some questions rolling for Bart of High Res. So this is your chance to ask about the actual game development, future plans, etc., etc. Direct line to the developers. How many companies do that for you?
Well, Twitch TV does that. I mean,
Haha.
Yeah, and also definitely, guys, feel free to add me on Twitter at HighResBart, and you can ask me questions there, or on our forums, I'm HighResBart, or in the game, I'm HighResBart. If you want to talk to me on the internet, I'm HighResBart.